Good evening, everybody. Oh, good. Apparently, all of the cameras, for some reason, aren't working.
I haven't had my camera on yet because my computer
fine.
is still
Don't
starting
worry.
up.
None of us are here. We're all pilot data waiting. Welcome to tonight's absolutely cursed broadcast of... Roach, what are we playing while I find your camera?
Lancer. We're playing Lancer. You can get it online from sites available.
Everyone has just
so
appeared
discombobulated.
but
I have
me.
no idea.
It's like the just do the apply directly to forehead style advert.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Lancer. It's made by Massive Pressing. We've got it on their website. You can also get it on their itch.io page. You can get a free version from there. And there's also a rule book that is still available on various different websites. So check it out.
And Mikey, do you have anything for us?
Sorry, I just had to stick my glasses on so I can read properly. You can feel free to check out our artist who's drawn our character portraits, Mela. You can find her on Twitter and Tumblr as BUY Space Creator. That is by Space Creator. You can find our shows in individual podcast channels. You can find them by searching the show's title. So if you want to listen to this in a podcast format or on any of your preferred apps, search Lancer. It's just business. You can find our Dungeons & Dragons show, The Underworld Chronicles, our Urban Jungle show, Tricogre Nights, our Swihunter show, The Great Schism, our Lancer show is just business, so Cyberpunk show, Night City Terrors, and our specials include Elite Dangerous Rivals on special, the Greaser Gobbies Moogle special, the House of Time Midgeman special, My Path of Ghost special, and Belgar Goodbye special on the Podbean, Player FM, Podchaser, Listen Notes, Boomplay app podcast, Overcast podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podcast Friend, Pocket Addicts, Podcast Republics, Bullhorn FM, and Good Pods apps. Shows released on YouTube and the podcast channels at 12 noon GMT, Friday for Eleanor, Saturday for Lancer, and Sunday for the specials. Please remember to turn on the R downloader for your preferred app and be sure to leave a rating and review and share it with your friends who weekly is nerdy. And please do us a favor and check out the master link down below from Doris.to where you can find our merch. Our merch store is limited to show runtime, so once the show is ran through, we no longer have that merch. So for example, the Avari themed mugs, the Avari themed carry bags, the Avari themed water bottles, the Lancer hoodie, the Lancer t-shirts, the Avari t-shirts, all of that stuff. Once the show runtime is done, we're done. And that is our spiel.
Right. Without further ado, I'm going to start this show properly.
All right. So, does anybody want to do the recap from our last game? It's a couple of weeks ago. I can see Mikey reaching for a notebook. So, does Mikey have notes?
I can if Mikey's notebook does not avail him.
No, this is the right notebook. I just wanted to make sure I turned to the right page. Okay, so
he can do recaps on vibes too. I mean,
oh yeah, pure vibe
it.
recap. Yeah,
I always do a vibe recap whenever I'm recapping.
Yeah, that's why we like Mitch. Mitch does everything on vibes.
He's pretty chill last week. Yeah. Go ahead, Mikey.
Well, last week things were actually pretty chill. We were on an R&R session. We had Oleg go look for some actual purchasable fresh meat. He found a very, very odd creature that made us all kind of go, "Oh, I wish I never had that image in my brain." But unfortunately, we do.
I want to also put this out there.
Had it in my brain.
Roach has pushed many times that in Lancer, you don't roll for everything. You only roll for the stuff that's really important, thus signifying how important this barbecue is to our forces. I want that on record.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna share. If it had succeeded correctly, you would have gotten a bonus.
That's true.
You wouldn't have
That's
known
fair.
what it is. There's a chat.
We would have
there's
figured it out
some
eventually.
stats I'm keeping track of in the background, but yeah.
We also met Phoenix of Rapier Group or Rapier Squad. She is the team captain of that squad. She was a faster than light speed racer, which is what she used to do before she was a lancer.
Near light.
Near light,
yeah.
sorry. I always forget, are we near light or light speed technology in this universe?
Light speed rescue. No.
Yes. Oh, what a great show. We also did some Reaper did a little bit of looking into like the rumors around base about where we might end up next. Turns out all a hogwash. We're out to space to go invade a asteroid that has a dry dock / repair bay in it for the Tanam Republic armada that are still left. And that was where we left off. We had just finished up readjusting our mechs so that way we can use them in space, maybe, hopefully, if we need to.
Awesome. Yeah, you get a advantage, a bonus to use on a roll sometime today. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where my comically large dice went. Because it's been a while since I used them.
Have you checked the comically large dice tray?
Take the boon away.
Worth it. Worth it.
No, you're fine. I guess it's the regular dice this time. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the very special one that I got from the Scotland trip. It's definitely not weighted correctly, but it's the one that has little sparkles in it. It's the hollow one, so we're gonna use that.
Is that the one that came from the game shop when we all played games in real life together?
Yeah, because the ones that the pack, I think that you or somebody bought us a pack. I forget who bought the pack. I think it was, yeah. So that one were these ones, which were comically correct in their coloring as a trans flag primary colors that I got out of the pack randomly. But yeah, no, this one was the game one, which I only partially remember.
Fate.
I'm told it was a nice day and up to a point.
Well, no, you had a horrible game, but that wasn't the cake's fault.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so you all got your mechs adjusted and kind of got everything together and boarded a ship. You are on your way aboard a naval vessel towards this asteroid, which is TS. Sorry, I just gotta. It's been a while since I've had to remember this. TS 113. And it's gonna take a couple of days. Not as long as it would with our current level of technology, because you're on a torch ship. If you don't know what a torch ship is, look it up. It's a ship that burns towards what it needs to go to until halfway, then flips and then breaks all the way there. The Expanse. You've all seen The Expanse. If you haven't, why are you watching this? It's a weird way of getting into sci-fi. But yeah, we left off with all of you having boarded the ship and kind of settled in somewhat to your essentially just the transport that you're taking there, which I believe was all of my notes I have to reopen and reorganize because they all closed when my computer ceased to get power. So forgive me, I quite literally turned on the computer and joined the call, so I need to find my pages again. You all boarded a ship of some sort. Good find.
Ship that may or may not go into space.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Well-
in space. Whether we stay there another matter. No, actually, we're more likely to stay there than not.
I guess. Probably. Depends on what you mean by that. But I guess there's just a lot of answers to that, which again would just indicate you're probably right. Philosophically, though, we're all in space.
Oh no, we're definitely
Ultimately.
all in space with dark matter going through us right now. We just don't know it.
Yeah. Well, not actually dark matter. Yeah, dark matter maybe. Because say antimatter, no. I'm filling up time while I try and gather all my notes.
I would
Do
like
you
the
want
dark
me
matter to get
space
out of me.
nerd this?
I would like this dark matter to get out of me. I did not consent for you to enter my body. Get out.
Everyone
leave.
remember to re-equip their mechs with Ava modules, correct?
I have.
Yeah, but I can't sync it.
I'm going to assume it's there.
Yeah. So
Because
what?
there's no mechanical effect it'll do. It's there. There we go. Oh my god. Yeah, so you
Roach is having a day.
I'm a bit frazzled. Does anybody remember which ship? Because I hadn't saved that document when I made the little star next to the name before my computer. Before my house lost power. Does anybody know which one? I'm wanting to go. I think you got on the riposte.
That sounds right. Yeah, the riposte sounds
Yeah.
right.
It does sound right. I'm just gonna see if it's in the
As it was,
Notes.
you were in the task
Uprod,
force
maybe?
riposte, which was.
In the op rod, maybe.
No, it's just no.
It is not. I'm reading it. I don't see it.
No, I'm just gonna use. We're just gonna retcon it or make it the riposte because the other one's the Prescott, which I can't think of a fun emblem for, and the Wild Child, which has too many cool emblems that could be made for a ship with that name. Honestly, so we're going with the riposte. So yeah, you boarded the destroyer, the riposte, and you are en route to your mission. It has been about 2 days since you boarded. You are all in a kind of little section made for like individuals who are being transported places. Now this isn't a capital ship, like in the sense that it is a major, like, ship of the line. So space is at a premium. So the room is not big, but I mean, you bunked up in a closet, essentially a maintenance closet for a bit.
It was the riposte.
Was the riposte? Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going with my gut that past Roach, she would have also seen that was the funner name to use. So cool. But yeah. So it's not too bad. It's less room than you had aboard the Reproach, which was the carrier you all came in system on. But you've got into, I would say, a hello, Duke. Welcome back. You didn't like the dark, did you? You went downstairs to the big bay window. You all kind of got into the ship's groove, as it were, your rhythms. Keeping an eye on your mechs, which are still. Well, actually, I wouldn't say they are in the same transport that boarded the ship. You essentially watched and supervised it. They're now in the wider hangar, where if this ship was deemed necessary, would be able to service like strike craft, but it's more of a universal hangar section, not big enough for a landing ship or like a transport ship, but big enough for small craft or mechs in your case, which you're expected to kind of keep an eye on. The amount of crew that can service these mechs is limited and not dedicated to it. Essentially, you're just supervising naval like maintenance personnel if you need anything. But you've gotten all of your mechs rated for 0G combat. And you've all, I would say, probably all adapted to 0G again. 2 days is enough, I would say, to get over the vertigo or whatever you would call that. Get your space legs back. But honestly, once you get past the hustle and bustle of getting everything together and getting everything set, moving stuff, you're back to the waiting. Because you don't have a job on this ship. You don't have a task to do like everyone else does. So you're kind of just expected to stay out of the way. What do you think? I'm just going to go in line here. I had a whole thing going on this, but I'm all all my plans got fucked up. What would you think, Midge, what would you think our good friend I was gonna say Eugene,
Owen.
Owen. Well, I was gonna use your call sign, but I just needed my shorthand list stuff a bit.
I think Padre would be rapidly
Padre.
trying to somewhat redecorate his internal cockpit. Where the EVA module had to go in, he had to lose some of his personalizations, and so the bobblehead of the one has been taken out. So he's trying to make up for it, make sure that like the good book is under his seat, that kind of thing. He's looking
specifically the bobblehead had to be moved because a giant, like, oh god, what's the most dangerous fuel that could possibly be in there? A hydrazine fuel tank had to take up part of your cockpit's like internal space to hook up to the EVA module, and there was no other place to put it. And your cockpit's kind of an armored box, so the maintenance crew's going, well, this is what it says guideline wise, like. Mm-hmm. It should go. You have this giant big tube fuel tank there that has a lot of warnings in it in about 4 different languages. So they all look bad.
I'm in a Harrison Armory Sherman. There was already warnings behind me for the nuclear fusion reactor that's jumped into the core of this that vents past my face every now and then.
I think you remember the maintenance crew member who has to work with this stuff for like strike craft, mm-hmm. like thruster refueling and stuff, and got rated for it and everything. It said like, so if this outside, like if you are exposed to the inner fuel from like it's a tube, it's like a self-sealing tank, but if that doesn't work and you're exposed to it, don't worry, because your cancer is getting cancer at that point.
At that point, I would just smile and begin to open my, the engine compartment door.
But yeah, so.
I'm sorry, I've been trying to figure out whether or not bobbleheads would work in 0G or not. I've been obsessed with that concept.
Yes, they would. Yeah, no, they would. Because
if it's under motion, then it would still bobble.
Yeah, because the spring would still work. It just wouldn't have the gravity assisting. So the head, you might want to have like a weight in the head, or something like that to give it a little bit more like mass to move around. Because it wouldn't go as long. I don't think it wouldn't go as long. But yeah, it would. Honestly, might be a valuable way. Well, no, because by that point it would be I was gonna say to find like a leak in your. In your crew compartment of air leak, but by that point where the bobblehead's starting to like move towards it, it's already too late. But so yeah, Padre's personalizing his cockpit, getting it back to kind of in the kind of comfort zone, or at least back to where it kind of feels comfortable. I'd say you're able to do that. There's nothing special about that, really. Making sure nobody messed with your seat. those annoying ones where it's like a 6 degree of freedom seat or everything like that, and somebody's like tilted the seat forward and up, and it's just like, oh, I don't sit right in there. Make sure that's all good. But yeah, you do that. That doesn't take long. It keeps you busy for a while. Quickly, very much run out of things to do with that, but what else is new? Spanner, what do you get up to in your 2 days?
Spanner's gonna print off another batch of games, dice, and chips for the others, but her main thing is gonna be she's gonna interact with people, so she's gonna be in the rec room or in the bunk at night time, but she's gonna be writing code. She's not going to be using it. She is writing it for when she gets back to start looking into what she shouldn't be looking into.
Okay.
But she knows that comms there's no comms or anything like that, so she's not. And there's a NHP that she doesn't want to touch, or at least even possibly affect. So this is just a equivalent of a Google Doc. Right.
Right. Okay. Just putting ideas together, working on things. Okay. Brainstorming. Do that. That keeps you busy. How about you, Demon? What do you get up to?
Not an awful lot, to be honest with you. We don't know enough about where we're going yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more checking systems, making sure everyone's prepped as best they can be, and doing what a soldier does when they're sitting around. Sleep.
Well, how about you, Reaper?
He is listening to music, preparing his mech because there's some new hardware and software in it, and then sleeping because, he wants to make sure that things are ready. And when he's not forced to be awake because time zones or space zones are a thing, he is sleeping as much as he can.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. How about you, Fathead? I had to double check. I didn't want
Who are you?
Who are you?
So, Fathead is going to be busy finishing up his custom paint job and adding his personalization to his mech.
Okay.
While
Awesome.
getting to know his new non-human person.
Yeah. Okay. Anything in
So,
specific?
yeah, because I have
Give me to
get
to start role playing for your non-human person, so that you
it's well, I told you a couple of weeks ago. It's a Noah class. Which...
Did you have any guides on personality you'd like? Because we kind of got Midge's being Agent Smith, essentially.
Very. Well, it's. I would assume, looking at a few suggestions actually on the internet trolling around, very, I'd say motherly, but given that it's a Noah class, like, I don't know, the idea of a motherly dad type, if that makes sense.
Oh, dad. I don't know why my brain immediately went to like Mrs. Doubtfire.
No, for me it's, hey sport, you want to go play catch?
Yes.
Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso. He's Ted Lasso. He's just Ted Lasso. He's a dude in the mustache and going, yes.
Sorry. She came up with it as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not doing the accent.
Obviously not.
Hello, dearie.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, don't ever do that again, Roach. Don't ever do that
I
again.
didn't-
That was
That was
terrible.
Mikey.
That was me.
That was,
That was me.
that was
I'm
Mikey.
bad
I
at
didn't
that.
do it. I knew I
I did
couldn't
that.
do it.
That was even worse then.
God damn it.
I was sure that was Roach.
Yeah.
No. If you had
No,
looked
it
at
was
your
me.
screen,
Yeah. You would have seen me do it and do it terribly because, of course, I did.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I do it any other way?
I mean, I should have guessed it was you, Mikey. It was so disappointing. And
Absolutely. I don't know how you didn't realize this. This is entirely on you.
It was an Irish accent in the, like, noticeable within the the impression. Ursa.
This is a callback to when Ursa first started making their way down towards Tandem 2, and that we are in 0G and we are prepping for combat. So Ursa is running exercises. He is in presumably one of the hallways to the ship, and he is just like angling himself and kicking and trying to like remember how an individual maneuvers around in 0G. Because this is his bread and butter, and he's trying to make sure that this is a very familiar practice that he's not going to make any mistakes in.
Yeah. No.
He's basically doing sprints down a hallway, but in 0G.
Yeah, which is more about precision than it is a physical exertion.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing angles and momentum and stuff, and kind of. Yeah. No, I get you. And just for context as well, because everybody assumes when they mentally picture a spaceship in the future, and they picture like the rooms and the corridors and everything, futuristic, which essentially means it's not as cramped and it's a bit more wide, and there's some function to it, but it's very, especially if it's military, it's got a lot of function and it's wide, it's usable, place like that. Well, this primarily operates in a 0G environment as well as a gravity or a thrust gravity situation. So because it has to operate with 0G, these corridors are not wide and open and everything like that, because there's the situation, just like in like our current space station, the International Space Station, you have to be able to get to a wall, because if you're stuck in the middle of a room without being able to reach anything, you're stuck. Somebody needs to help you. You're essentially a turtle on your back, but in 0G.
Isn't there actually a place in the
one single place?
Yeah, one spot right in the middle.
Yeah, and they've recorded themselves, and it's like a challenge, and they let them go, and it's somebody's got to try and do it. You just see them being let go by the rest of the crew, and then they just like trying to move, and nothing's happening. I've seen one person do it on their own, and it was them just like making small movements with their arms, like to turn and like gain a little bit of like, I guess, air resistance to like move them back. But it's
Microscopic levels of friction, because the air does in fact give you some friction.
Yeah, but it's got to be but it has to be done in a very specific way to counteract, because it's equal and opposite reactions, so your momentum's canceled. So you have to do it very specifically. They did, but yeah. So think of like all of these rooms have things like handholds and like corners and like the corridors that are like double wide have like people mover like handles across like along the edges that you grab onto, and it'll like pull you forward so that you don't have to like walk or bounce off the walls to get where you need to go. Things like that.
Are mag boots an option?
They are, but primary weapons for starships for long-range engagements are railguns, which use
More
magnets. So yeah, people don't seem to get that if there'd be some problems. And also, if that's like a primary thing, why not just use an EMP or something like that, especially because it's an electromagnet that's going to be on the boot, or it's going to be useless. So it has to be able to be turned on and off again. So just use an EMP.
It's why you probably get that for working outside of the ship, because obviously you don't want to just bounce off into nothingness and you're gone forever. Inside, No, to use the concept, I'm gonna steal from Gundam here. They probably have handles in the walls that will pull you along where you need
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm
go.
saying. The people movers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be for like long stretches of hallways and stuff. Actually, a lot of the times, a lot of people don't wear boots. They wear like kind of like, well, it's a full jumpsuit, and then it's like usually like a grippy like stocking kind of thing that they'll wear. That kind of it'll help them. Like it gives you grip if you need to like push off against something or move something. Like it's a utility basically. These are
I'm
not,
sorry,
grippy
I
socks,
just-
like hospital grippy socks. Yeah.
I just pictured the floor is carpet. Everybody has Velcro feet, and that's just how you stay down. Because there you go.
Well, it's not, but Velcro does like Velcro's used a lot. Velcro's used a lot. It's an ancient invention that they found, and they've continued to use it. Like crates made with Velcro on the side of them, they stick on the side of walls so that they'll stay there in 0G. But yeah, thankfully, right, like I'd actually say like for you, Ursa specifically, you're under gravity, like you're under like thrust gravity right now because you're in transit. So right now you can't do the bouncing off the walls kind of thing, specifically. But there are simulators, especially for mechs and stuff like that you could open. Not as immersive on like the carrier, but like ones that are like headset units or something like that. So you can practice through that and kind of get your vibes back about like at least being able to spot how you do it. But throughout all this, you arrive on essentially like the third-ish day. It's a bit later in the day when the normal kind of, I'd say, blue-ish kind of tinted lights go like a yellow. And a warning, or at least a message, comes on over the comms, telling the crew to go to duty stations, going to like shit. I've totally like I had a list of Battlestar Galactica shorthand because I was just going to use that for that shit. Oh god, condition 2, I think condition 2, essentially condition 2, within the ship. Essentially, like stuff might be happening soon. Go to your stations. Vibes. Has been said over the comms, and all of your personal communicators tell you to go to a briefing room that's near the hangar where your mechs are currently located. So I'm assuming everybody listens. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I suppose.
You suppose. Mutiny.
I mean,
No.
They didn't say please, but okay.
Well, for the sake of the
literally
for the-
getting paid to do this.
yeah, we're literally getting paid to do this, but also for the sake of like
Man, this costs nothing.
progression or story or action, I will do it.
I do give you the verbal option to just say fuck it. We're not doing Roach's story. I appreciate
we
the fact
wait
that
until
you
we're
never.
on the ground and you've said right, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. There's going to be this, and it's like bye.
Yeah, you're on a ship. You're in a tin can. You can't get away.
Exactly. So we
actually-
have to follow along right now.
To be fair, we only do that sort of stuff when we're playing fantasy characters that are like adventurer types anyway, that are going to naturally, as characters, do their own shit. We are
Fuck with
currently
God.
playing
Yeah.
Soldier Simulator, which means good soldiers follow orders.
I'm not a
Yeah,
soldier,
you're
hence why a
following.
lot of times I'm not following orders.
Yeah, you're the exception because you're not a soldier. So we are naturally following our
You're a
characters.
cool
It's to
soldier. You're the
follow
one that
orders.
follows the orders when they make sense, but you're a loose cannon. Yeah, you all get to the briefing room. You were greeted there along with the other Lancer group that came along with you, which is Phoenix's team. You haven't really seen them too much. They're you're like on the starboard side hangar, and you stay around there. That's where your mechs are. There's a port side hangar that their team is currently located in. and so they've been kind of sticking around there. There's been a couple of times, specifically with like you, Demon, where like Phoenix has reached out to like just double check and touch base because you're technically the only two people within your command like chain that are on board. So it's good to know what's going on. So this is kind of maybe the first or second time you've seen them since you've kind of gone on board a couple of days ago. And they all look about the same, which is to say, like, active and attentive now, but you can tell, just like you probably look at everybody on your team and they're pretty bored up until now. So this is like they're just wondering something's going on. But inside this briefing room, there's a big hollow projector that's kind of in the center of it, and kind of in a almost hemispherical way of there's like places where seats fold out if there's gravity, and if there's no gravity, you can definitely see with the seats folded in, a little bit of the chair is still there for like you to hook your foot into if you wanted to. And it's like supposed to be for a whole bunch of people to kind of sit around this projector, which you assume again is probably for if this was functioning as like a makeshift carrier of some sort, or a makeshift strike craft transport or something, so they could coordinate better. And inside there is a commander, naval commander, with the Ivari Naval Forces, which actual acronym is the Ivari Military Systems Naval Forces, which would be the AMSNF. So he's in the Navy. Again, wearing the standard kind of off blue-ish jumpsuit that is the Ivari Navy's color. Doesn't look great, but you, I think, probably haven't. I'd say most people probably haven't seen him before. Demon, you have, and yeah, probably Phoenix also saw them. Basically, they're the ones that have come by periodically to just make sure you have everything you need. Looks like they're probably like they're operating as like a liaison-ish for the ship to you all. And their name on their on their jumpsuit, they have a rank commander, and the name on the jumpsuit is hold on. Fuck it, we're using that. I'm gonna change it.
They're Holden.
Holden, yeah, they're Holden. It's a deep reference to the Expanse. Yeah, Commander Holden.
That's not very deep. It's
basic not.
Level.
Yeah, I know. Changing that in the notes. Commander Holden, who kind of. I had a whole description here. I'm just gonna delete this and just go. So they're like a mid-20s, early 30s, like kind of like that mix between like good-looking but also kind of grimy, where you could theoretically get the like they're definitely an actor, but they definitely also look like they can fit in the role of a like long-haul crew member aboard an ice hauler. Think of the actor. Think of the TV show. That's what he looks like. We're using that now. But he's standing there waiting, and as you all kind of file in, the last of Phoenix's group is the last one to get in there. Something else you notice is the ship had, like, it's noticeable to you, the gravity got a little, like, got a little bit more intense for about 30 seconds, and now it feels a little less after a bit. And then you'll file in, sit in your chairs. Holden gives you all like a nod. Everything. Okay. Well, everyone's here. I know you all don't have a lot of information about what's going on the outside here, but we've detected a couple of signals within the asteroid belt that we are going to have to be going through to get to our target. Because of that, we're slowing down a modicum, and we are going to be using, after the captain has reviewed multiple different strategies, we're going to be using a group of strike craft that is currently aboard the Wild Child, as well as your 2 Lancer detachments, as foxes to flush out whatever's in the asteroids ahead of us. If you pardon a cradle analogy. Or a mythological analogy. These foxes definitely aren't alive anymore. And you see the display zooms in on a portion of this asteroid belt, and you can see these signals that they've gotten, which have been like not radar signals. Essentially, the computer, just the NHP of the ship, like takes like essentially like high resolution photographs at periodic times in like a panoramic score, and it's comparing like pixels and stuff between the two, and it's looking for anomalies, stuff that isn't moving like in an orbit, or things that reflect wrong, or everything. And you can see there's a couple here over the course of about like 6 hours. There have been 3 cycles of this like specific area, and you can definitely see we're reading things that possibly might point to a ship. If so, it's not a large one, and a large group of small objects. And they've, as of now, become difficult to spot, which we assume means they are hiding in the blind spot behind these asteroids, knowing our approach, pointing to a couple of different areas. To decrease the likelihood that we are overwhelmed, if this is a large force, we're sending you and these strike craft of ours forward to clear them out over a wide front. We don't want them to concentrate on you all. We want them to fight multiple battles, and wherever we find them to be the weakest, the main force will go through. You will disengage and come back to the ships after we have gotten past what we assume to be this forward picket. Any questions? And it's making animations and showing these situations as they go. Any questions?
Were these signals? Were we aware of these signals before we launched? Because as I understood it, this was a secret mission. So, do we think that
our destination is secret? But specifically, we are on a patrol to the outside world. We're on a general naval patrol. Our patrol path puts us within strike distance of TS-113 at our, I guess it would be perigee? At the extent of our orbit. I was going to say, normally it changes depending on what you're orbiting around, but I don't think...
Apogee.
It would be an apogee? Yeah, I'm thinking Kerbal.
Kerbal Space Program.
Space Program. Apogee. It also changes somewhat depending on what you're orbiting, the name of it, but I think you just have to throw that out if you're going to multiple star systems, because it's too...
Apogee is the top point?
Yeah.
Periaps is the one closest to what you're orbiting.
Yeah, so at our apogee, we'll be within striking distance of the TS-113. At which point we will then do an aggressive maneuver towards the target, and then you will launch to undertake your mission. With support from us via long-range fire or general material support is the plan. We've been encountering these kinds of small pickets around these asteroids for a while now at random intervals, so it's not uncommon. But we don't want them to damage us any more than necessary, so we're still going to undertake this as if we were doing a normal sweep and clear.
What are deployments going to be?
The strike craft from the Wild Child will be on our extreme starboard of the formation. Phoenix and your group will be on the port, and right up the center will be Demon and all the rest of your crew.
And the idea is to engage, tie them up until the wild shark can go through it, and then disengage and meet back up with you.
Yeah, until all the ships can find the weakest portion of this picket, and they will blow through, and you will disengage and come back towards us. The ships themselves will be awaiting about 5 light seconds distance from the engagement area, or where we expect the engagement area will be. It will maintain that distance during the operation.
Any likelihood of enemy reinforcements?
If they... Not from TS113. If there's a mothership or some sort of support craft or support ship, it would probably already be around there or nearby, in which case we would see it. What we know so far is there's a large group of strike craft or smaller craft and one larger craft. Estimated larger craft.
Okay.
Currently, we're in condition 2. We have until we get within distance for your launch, 4 hours. So standard, just be on call. Be ready. And space condition 2, again, not exactly Battlestar Galactica. In a space setting where you're doing like actual real science kind of distances and engagement limitations and stuff like that, a condition 2 would still, you'd be on normal rotation through like your watches and stuff. It would just be aware, be extra attentive. But it's not like you're at your stations and you're awaiting, but there's no battle expected. It's a little different because, you know, engagement, you can be on condition 2 for days. You know, seeing and engage, like a major fleet action is like a week ahead of time. You know it's coming, and it's just everybody getting to each other that it happens. So condition 1 is normal. That's a we're fighting. so yeah, you're expected. So expect normal, just go about it, and just be ready. So essentially that just means go, make sure you've eaten, make sure you're rested up, the whole 9 yards. You'll be given an hour warning personally when we get to, or given an hour ahead warning when we're an hour before launch. Yes, Spanner?
Sorry, one more question. The small pings that you got in previous pickets, have they been mechs as well?
They've been a mix. We've encountered strike craft and we've encountered mechs. Seems to be whatever's available at the time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Nobody in Phoenix's group makes any indication they have questions. Holden Gives a nod. All right.
Okay, check your
Copy of
mechs.
this
Okay,
briefing will be
check your,
sent to all of you.
check your mechs. Check your equipment for your suits in case you get depressurized. Everyone report in to me when you've done it. Other than that, time's your own.
I'm going
It's
to the
prob-
galley.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably like standard procedure. Like if you're going to engage in space combat, especially in like a strike craft or a mech or something like that, your cockpit would just be depressurized to begin with.
Yeah, but if you're working in a pressurized environment, you're better off making sure all your seals are, in case you actually get a suit breach or something like that, you need to pressurize your cockpit.
True. But I would say probably normally you would just always have your suit on if you're outside of. But probably if you're in a fight, your suit's on no matter what, anyways. Like that's going to be default. Explosive decompression's a thing. It could be worse than getting an actual like bullet through the hull, because then it'll take everything. Yeah. So you're all dismissed. Everybody kind of shuffles out. Phoenix goes to you, Demon, and says you're going to be in the center of this. We're going to be pretty far away. It looks like the deployment zones. You can see the deployment zones are pretty widely spaced. So I guess the objective is to pull anything that's in the in-between spaces. So we're not going to be able to provide support or anything. Do you want to reach out to the strike craft squadron or wing that's going to be on the other side, or do you want me to coordinate? Or
We should both.
Oh.
Hey, we don't know what's going to happen with comms. You can't get hold of me. I can't get hold of you. One of us can get hold of the other one. It's best if we all know what everyone's going to be doing, their intentions, plan of action if things go wrong. It's clear Intel hasn't put much thought into it. I mean, their idea is we engage, and then when everything's fine and everything, we just disengage because that's easy.
they have their own ideas about what things. Well, also naval jocks. That is something they can do. They don't understand when you start getting into a knife fight. It's not possible.
Just burn the engines and run. Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, so let's get together with whoever's commanding the wing. Make sure we're all on the same page.
And while everybody else kind of shuffles out, you see like Phoenix and you go about trying to like get comms up, and kind of you have to send in requests because again it's supposed to be quiet except for pre-planned messages in case, but you get a point-to-point like a laser transmission point-to-point, which is impossible to intercept unless you're in the like in between the points, which means it's really shitty quality as well because there's a lot of data loss even over a short distance. So there's like, whereas every other like hologram you deal with and everything is like super high quality and it's like could be just like TV but three-dimensional kind of thing. Like this is a lot more like a Star Wars hologram where there's a lot of like jitters and scan lines and shit going by. The computer's trying its best, but you're put on with an individual you've never met before. Or anybody, but they're a captain, a matey, like matey or mighty. You're not sure. They say it once when you put it up when they introduce, and they're like, say probably like 40-ish, like biological 40-ish. So they've got just a tiny bit of white starting to show here and there, and she's like got short cropped hair and like definitely been around a bit. But she comes onto the horn and she's so what did we want to talk about? And it's like, and that's it's hard to get that even. Like it's
Captain, we're going to be the only people down there. From what we've been told, you'll be on our right flank, but we're going to be far apart So we figured we should all understand what each other's intentions and extractions are going to be, so we can actually coordinate a little bit on the ground. Also,
Well,
if we lose comms between one of the groups, we all have had a chance to see each other's faces, talk to each other about what we all intend to do. So you're going to know how I'm going to react, or how Phoenix is going to react when the recall orders happens or things go bad.
makes sense. Well, from where we're at right now and where our patrol is going to take us, the target asteroid is going to be situated on our almost exactly left to the engagement. So I assume whatever these Navy jocks got going on, that they're going to want to break through and start maneuvering that direction to continue. So we want to have a coordinated pullout. My flight pulls out first, crossing behind your area of engagement, pointing to you, Demon. Once we're past, you break. Use Phoenix's group as a shield until we're decent enough away, and then Phoenix does a hard burn back to the ships.
A good for you, Phoenix?
We're going to be there a bit longer, but should be.
I mean, we can break contact, rendezvous with you, give them extra hit in the teeth while we're helping you disengage, then all burn out just the two groups together.
Captain kind of gives a head shake. Goes, that ain't going to work. Because if you stop to rendezvous, then you're going to have the problem of everybody that you've disengaged from is going to be able to catch up to you. Only works if you start burning and don't stop after you break off. And Phoenix, we pointed that Phoenix has the shortest point to point from engagement zone to where we're expecting them to end up. Phoenix just nods her head. Makes sense. You don't want to lose momentum.
True. All right. We've got an extract.
And yeah, you say your goodbyes and everything, and then go about your normal routine for your prep time.
Fist bump, Phoenix. Go about my business.
She gives it back.
So has anyone actually piloted a mech in space? Because I know I haven't.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Is it any different?
Yes.
Up, down, left, right, forward, back are all relative. But other than that, yeah.
I hate relativity.
Just try and keep yourself orientated the same way up as the rest of the team.
Eh? Sure. Technically, I don't have to be, as long as I don't start throwing up in my cockpit.
Keep yourself, try and keep yourself corrected to the same as the rest of us. That way, if you see someone sees something and they call it out at 9 o'clock, you're not going, there's nothing over there, because you're upside down looking the other way.
I see your point.
Your mech's inbuilt software suite will do its best to direct you to keep things orientated with the rest of us.
Yes,
It does have a gyroscope.
So the Max should automatically zero a heading even without a true north to follow. This is probably going to be helpful because you'll know that zero means forward, usually what was forward at the moment of entry, and that gives you a frame of reference. Think of it like that. Always follow zero if you get lost. You'll know then your original frame of reference.
to point out, because I have thought about this, 0 on just a 360-degree heading in space, and for doing like a military, like fleets and stuff like that, would be relative to the front on the capital ship of whatever formation you're part of, ultimately. So in this case, whatever the ripost's forward, like dead center forward is, that's 0 degree for
Because
the
it's
entire
relative.
fleet. Yeah, because it's the
So
entire
it's got to
fleet.
be relative to something, so it may as well be the capital ship,
Yeah.
and where the
Yep.
where the
And
front
so
is facing.
is up and down. Whatever dorsal and ventral is for the capital ship, that's what it is for the fleet, because it's the only way to keep it relative.
That makes sense for the fleet, but in terms of our deployment, once we're deployed, it would make more sense for like actual deployed forces to have a new 0, which would.
My
That would
idea
be-
it'd probably be locked into your flight computer whenever you're launching, because I would assume, like, you know, you're essentially acting like this is essentially acting as your carrier. At this point, you're gonna have
I suppose,
your guide home. So it just lock it in, because that way there's no way of kind of messing around with it. And once you're under gravity, it resets to whatever the gravitational relative is. So it's kind of an automatic thing, because expecting normal people, even people who are raised in like space age and stuff like that, to kind of be able to do it themselves, it's a bit much. So
everyone needs a frame of reference.
yeah, that'd be how you do it.
I think that was perfect time for a break time then.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Let's do our break then.
Sorry, I have multiple buttons to unmute before I can talk. So yes, join us in 10 minutes time, where we'll be back with more spies.
Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex, I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere. And if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch. And just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Grey Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope from the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness. A radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can beautifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
And
Hey,
we...
come here a minute. Do you
back.
need royalty?
Okay. All right. 4 hours comes and goes. 3.5 hours comes and goes. You're given your half hour ahead of time warning. You arrive in your hangar. Your mechs are ready to go. Any of them that use ammunition have been reloaded. Throughout the last couple of days, you've double-checked all of the aspects of your mech to make sure they function in zero-G, including the weapon systems. The EVA modules are working. And you all, I assume, have hard suits or some sort of atmosphere suit to help you stay alive. So you don that and get into the cockpit, which is probably feels smaller because no matter how high tech it is, a spacesuit like an environmental suit that can resist the vacuum is just a little mini spaceship, and you can only make that so small. But you hook in, and my thought process is that when you're in the mech or something like that, there's probably like a quick disconnect, like just hoses or something to connect into the mech's internal life support systems that'll feed into the suit and keep that going. And then you have whatever emergency stores the suit normally has. If you have to get out. So, and then you patiently wait. A half hour goes by. Condition 1 is declared across the ship. Red lights now turn on, and an alarm goes for a very short period of time because it was going during the entire time of a combat. Then, people would be really annoyed and wouldn't be able to function correctly. But if condition 1 goes on, the alarm goes off. You see the deck is no longer being patrolled, or are actively, like, there's active personnel that don't have environmental suits on as they strap themselves in as the ship decelerates to essential 0. You're not traveling at 1G throughout this entire process. 1G is pretty hard on the body and the ship, especially because that gives you, if you really need to, you can go full G burn and kind of bleed off a lot of that, maybe third of a G is your acceleration you were doing before. So you feel that for a little bit, and then it goes away, and now you're in 0G. The people in the hangar that kind of guide you to where you need to go, and the mechs and stuff for deployment are all in hard suits. You can tell the hangar has been depressurized. And over the comms, Commander Harden tells you to launch. Through doors that open quickly and then close just as quickly. None of that slow opening cinematic shit. Because what if a missile gets in through there? These are armored doors.
That's how you lose atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And they aren't like two giant slabs either. These are like, honestly, probably like an iris open and close, like something that's like that overlaps and can go really quick and like gets it open, gets it closed again. And so you deploy out. I'd say for the ones who have done this before, for the various military vets or super soldiers that did this for a job, takes you not too long to reorient yourselves with the kind of piloting this requires. Probably the Padre and Spanner take a little bit more to kind of get it together. Because as we all know in Kerbal Space Program, well, I would say, as we all know, as anybody who's played the game knows, arresting your movement or your drift in any direction can suck.
Fucking hard.
Yeah. Unless
I
you
believe
have,
it's the technical term.
Yeah, unless you have your your SAS and your reaction control and your RCS on at the same time. It's,
And even your RCS sometimes just goes.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Nothing worse than hitting a Kraken at the wrong moment.
Valentino, it was nice
Yeah.
knowing you.
Yeah. Also, space engineers. It's the thing with Clang, kind of learning how to appease Clang. But yeah, you get it eventually. Your computer's helping you a lot. But you have your systems installed that help you along with this. You may not have been soldiers or anything like that, but Spanner, you've been on multiple combat deployments now. You fought in fights with your mech. You're not a rookie anymore. Same with you, Spanner. You're not a rookie anymore. You know what you're doing. So, because of that, you all get orientated, and then you on your heads-up display in your cockpits, you were guided to where the engagement zone is, and you can see probably a lot quicker than. Honestly, yeah, actually, I would say both. I'd say both of them are a lot quicker than you, given your general loadout as a team, even with your kind of revamped loadouts, your revamped mechs and everything. Phoenix's team is just generally a lot of fast bastards, because that's what she cultivates.
Yeah, I was going to say that's her type, isn't it?
Yeah, that's her type. Yeah, it's her type. No, I'd say, yeah, you would definitely see Phoenix because you deploy from the same boat. So you definitely see her. She's in a, oh shit, what is it called? No, CompCon I never brought back up. What did I actually put her in?
Whilst you're there, Roach, can I have the call signs for the rest of her team, please? You've gave them out, and I didn't write them down.
Right. Yep, get that. Oh, get that up.
I have them here. Do I?
You might not have gotten them all, but you got some. I think.
I only got the COs and XOs for all of them. So I have Phoenix for Raptor. That's the only one I have.
Okay. Okay. She's in a morning cloak. So it's an SSC mech, and it's known for it's like very kind of humanoid-esque shape, very smooth lines, kind of weirdly humanoid, and given the fact that it has toes, it's one of those mechs.
It's SSC. What do we expect?
Yeah, it's SSC. What do you expect? And it has these kind of like diaphanous, like veil appendages that kind of come out of the back that look like a cloak, but they're kind of, they look almost like a fire effect. With her, and sometimes the mech just ceases to be in our reality for periods of time. So I mean, that's the morning cloak. And you can see for Raptor, it's the 4 pilots are, the lead is Phoenix, obviously, and then her 3 teammates are T-Bone, Val, and Pickle. Or no, is that the right one? Is Raptor? No, I might be reading the wrong one. Give me a second. Pretty sure that was the other one that you met. No, that was correct. Yeah, T-bone, Valen, pickle.
Thank you. And when you get a moment, my mech seems to be inactive, and I'm not sure why.
That would be on your character sheet. It's inactive. I can see about that. Thinking that it might be a transposition of the NPC names, because I'm pretty sure we've encountered T-Bone and Val. Yeah, you active mech. It's active for me. Hold on, let me double check here. Pilots. Are you looking at the Brave or Jean Grey?
The Brave, that's my mech.
Oh, that's your mech. Okay. Yeah, you have them reversed for active. I can do that. You can do that from your main character sheet of your character. You can just go to mech/active as the tab, and any mechs that you have assigned to your pilot, you can click the little power button. That's how you do it. But I switched it over, so now you've got that. So.
Well, now I know for next time. Thank you.
Yeah. Good to know. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you're a lot slower than them. Obviously the strike craft are just made for space generally, and so they're flying very quickly towards their thing, and almost all of Phoenix's group is very quick. So they make it there, but you're not far behind. And you arrive on the battlefield. The last known sensor locations of various potential strike craft or enemy craft have been kind of highlighted in your HUD, and they're kind of spread out over a long area. And within your area, it's not a lot from what you can tell. But you arrive in this little you can tell maybe a big asteroid hit another asteroid recently within this belt, and so now there's a lot of debris because while it's hard sci-fi, we still are in an asteroid belt, and I need some terrain for this combat game. So there's a lot of small asteroids around here, even though that doesn't make a lot of scientific sense. And I'm just going to activate the map. Tell me if you can see anything. Cool. Okay.
I can see, I can see 3 big white blobs and then a lot of dark and our mechs.
Zoom out.
I can see more big white blobs.
Keep zooming out.
Nope, that's all I've got.
You've not got the green area?
I've got the green area.
There you go.
Okay. Blue area is where you're going to deploy from. Green area is ultimately where you're going to be exfilling to when you get the word.
Where am I?
Yeah, we are missing the Reaper's due.
Oh, I put it in.
I'm here.
Reaper's,
Excuse
yeah,
you.
the
Or
Reaper's there.
or missing downtown.
You're missing downtown.
Missing one.
Is it downtown? Okay. I was pulling them out.
Thank you. I mean, it's the wrong picture, but that's fine.
Son of a bitch! I knew they didn't. Trying to find the one you sent me.
I'll use that for now. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Did you send me one? That's a question.
Yes, I sent you one before when I changed my mech. I went from the grey area, which was my first mech, and I changed into downtown. Downtown's
I
rally.
see the one. Yeah, it's the rally.
Change it for next time.
Yeah. It's just defaulting to one of these for some odd reason.
It's cool.
I don't think you... I guess we didn't cover a way to track this, Roach, but I do need to roll for how many uses my prototype weapon has, too.
Okay, keep manual track of that. I don't think we've figured out.
So 5. I'll use it over here.
I trust you.
I probably won't be using it very much anyways, just because it's an alternative weapon, but it's there as an emergency.
What are you talking about, Rival? It's the right token.
That one is, yeah.
No, no,
it's no.
it's the right token.
I'm not going down this road.
Question: are we allowed to deploy anywhere in the blue?
Yes. Asteroids count as obstructions.
Okay.
For both line of sight, everything. We're not doing heights in this one. Because you're all...
Because figuring out the dynamics of that in 3G on a 2D map would make everybody's brain break. So it's just easier to think they're just full obstructions. Yeah.
Yeah, they're full obstructions. For our purposes, they are giant pillars of solid like adamantine that go forever in each direction, up and down. So there you go.
we're just using Doom logic now, where it doesn't actually matter how big they are. It's just infinite up and down. You cannot go over it.
Yeah, there we go.
Can
it
they
makes
be
this a whole lot
destroyed?
easier. Can they be destroyed? They can. I'm not going to tell you the criteria of how or why they can be destroyed.
Cool.
And certain things may happen to certain ones for them because, hey, asteroids aren't all just rocks.
Cool.
Nope.
I am trying to think of who
Where's
in
the
this group.
LTDs? Where's the LTDs? Which one of the asteroids has LTDs in it?
I think Oleg's gonna pick Spanner.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, I don't have. I can't shoot outside of line of sight now. I don't have arcing on my explosives, but I'm a problem if I can see things.
You'll maybe get why this had to happen after the showing of the last thing, the last fight. How I had to induce some terrain of line of sight blocking to
Before I didn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Line of sight wasn't an issue. Now it is.
Yeah, I may have readjusted some combat maps when I figured out that arcing.
It still doesn't stop a seeking weapon.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, you're right.
I have one of those, but it doesn't stop it.
Okay. Just making sure everything's in place here. Good. Let me know when you're all in the places you want to be.
All systems green.
I'm good to go.
Just a reminder, if you want my protection, you need to be close.
Gonna get into some proper Gundam space combat with mechs. Shit going on right now. It's good. It's good. Not a lot of Lancer games get to this point. Everybody sticks to the terrain. You good where you're at, Demon? Okay. Mikey, you're good. Utari, you're good.
Yeah. I've got force fields.
Okay. And Ursa, you said you were good. You were sticking next to... Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. All right, let me just double check. Everything's good. And I'm just going to reveal the enemies. I was going to have you start rolling, like, checks to see if you spot them eventually and everything like that. But that's just extra. We're just putting a hat on a hat at this point. So...
Also, my sensor range is 20, so I can see quite far.
I know. You break the game. I get it.
I have dark vision. I need to see everything.
Okay, so the enemies have been revealed. So you see six contacts come across your screen. Pop up on your radar.
I only see ships.
Yeah. She didn't say Meg, she said contacts.
Yeah.
I was just making sure I didn't miss any mechs.
Not that you see right now, no. Not within your...
yeah, I was about to say
combat
that's
zone. Don't read
right
into
now.
it. Don't read into it.
Demon says, break by pairs. Engage as you see them.
Yeah, you see, what is it? Redwing, Fuzzy, Thumper, Chuckles, Racetrack, and Showboat.
Yeah, don't just use Battlestar Galactica names, why don't you? Chuckles died.
Showboat's going to die, I'll tell you that right now.
Chuckles died. He took a round to the freaking chest and bled out before he crashed into the bloody...
Spoilers.
Yeah. I'll point out something here. 2 of these names are for characters that were not seen on screen and only through radio messages. So the fact that you got that, self-reflect.
Have you met Rival?
I was low on time. I couldn't think of call signs, and I knew Rival would like this. Mikey already got the Modern Warfare 2 thing, and so did Midge.
Still waiting for the Gundam episode.
That on week on, so you guys are going to have to take up the slack on that one.
The Gundam one's going to be too easy, because it's going to be, okay, Char, yeah.
No, you can't use Char. Char's too important. No, it's got to be something like this is Garma. This is Dozel.
This is Gene. He pilots Suzaku. He dies in the first episode. Okay. Or Denim. All right. And I'm just gotta make sure everybody's on here, so gotta put people in the combat state that I had to switch out. So I've got Padre, Ursa, Fathead, Spanner, Demon. What am I missing here? Reaper, there we go.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm literally just moving this round. There's nothing I can do at this range.
That's why I told you to break by pairs.
All right, well, you all go first, as is standard for our Lancer combat. You go first, then we go back and forth. Who wants to go?
Please, just anybody take the initiative.
Don't all volunteer at once, guys. I know you all want to.
All right, it's been a while since we moved on a map. So you can move your max speed, yeah? Then take a shot or an action or anything. Or you can just double move, right?
Boost is an action, yeah. It's a quick action.
Yeah, you can do 2 quick actions or full action in your turn. Moving is like an act is its own thing. Like moving is its own thing, so you can move and do a full action or 2 quicks. And the reason you can boost is you can't do 2 of the same actions in the same turn. But you double move because your boost is its own action. It doesn't relate to the movement like activation thing. Like your movement's its own separate thing. So yes, you can move. Okay. Didn't hear you.
My turn's over.
Okay.
Because I had to boost to get there.
Demon is done. Okay. Let's see here. Just gonna pull up some character sheets here.
Damn, I can't believe I missed Red Wing. Didn't hear that one.
You didn't get Red Wing?
Didn't
The
hear
one
Red
that
Wing.
I focused on.
No, I focused on Racetrack, but that's because I thought she was hot.
This is fair. This is fair.
I think Fuzzy's gonna go. These are all from Battlestar Galactica, by the way. If you don't reckon, none of these are made up. These are all from Battlestar Galactica. They're not from any other source. So.
I mean, we're fighting the Cylons.
No, these are Colonial.
I've never watched Battlestar Galactica. I have no idea any of these references. I just know Cylons. That's a thing, right?
These
they look like
Colonial
humans.
Viper and Raptor pilots, though predominantly they're Raptor pilots. There's only a couple of Viper pilots in here.
Battlestar Galactica, well, one version is the reason that Rival and Roach are friends.
Yeah.
True. Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Yeah. The Roach War. Going round and round that asteroid.
I don't remember who won that ultimately. I think it was a tie between all the games.
No, I was tied between all the games, but I won the Battlestar Galactica and you completely trounced me in the Homeworld.
These things have a range of 35. We got problems.
What was that?
I said, these things are a range of 35. We got problems.
Who knows?
I just see Midge measuring, and there was just concern.
just checking.
I only have a speed of 3, so
If somebody needs to move fast, let me know, because I can use a quick action to pull.
Oh, right. I have things that I can do now that I can do. Just remember that.
I can move
You
faster
have this
than my
thing
mech
called
can.
movement now. Like,
I've got a lot more than that.
What the hell? I'm sorry, I'm just double checking the because you made me think like, oh, what are their ranges here? Because it's been a couple of days since I made these the updated sheets. One of these weapons doesn't have a range listing.
Oops.
It just has its area of effect template.
That's a nuke.
It isn't by any chance fly into them really fast, is it?
you're on your own, Noble. Carter out.
We've got the mass. Because it's loading and seeking. But seeking just means no line of sight's required.
Yeah, it can target anything.
There's literally no range on this. It just says burst 5. Which burst 5 just means a 5.
It's a 5
radius
5X.
burst.
Yeah. Which is fucking huge, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, Blake, could you try and look up Missile Swarm as a weapon? Try looking online and seeing if anybody has this listed anywhere, or if somebody has the rule book as well. Check that as I manage these. The Missile Swarm, the weapon for
what classification are these enemies?
aces.
They're aces. Okay. Crap! I don't have those set on my thing.
Trying to just because that is important, because that's kind of a big weapon. That's necessary to know. Oh, CompCon, why you do this to me? And it's the same thing on this as well, because I don't think that just means it's all ranges, because that would just be broken.
No.
It doesn't give me a range.
Yeah.
Unless it's just like...
Missile Swarm. Loading, seeking. You're right, it doesn't. I think what that means is it bursts 5 from itself. Like it launches missiles in every direction from itself.
Deals double damage to characters with lock-on, but doesn't affect allied characters.
Yeah, so that is centering itself and then just having missiles whiz out. That makes sense to me.
It's the
Yeah,
the thing that the Mandalorian has in his wrist. The little missile launcher thing, whatever those are called.
Yeah, but that exists as a thing that you can take, and it has a range like stat. So it's like, so that's just weird how that does that. Okay. Okay, I guess I know what that is then. I guess I have a strategy for these guys.
Apparently, that strategy is get close and
Have to
explode.
reevaluate some things. Because I thought it was just a normal
Caravaggio
weapon.
tactics, basically.
I thought it was a normal weapon, but when I first read it, I thought it meant that it would hit some. It only fires on things that have lock-on on it.
Mm.
But
No,
that
it's
doesn't make sense because they would
it's
double
straight out of Macross. It is just all the missile
Yeah.
pods just open up and it just goes in every direction.
Spaz missiles. Yeah, cool. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'm just moving.
All right.
Oh, actually,
Sure.
does anybody need help moving?
Yes, I'm quite slow.
Would you like a push?
A push, yeah, I'll take a push.
Okay, so I'm gonna move and boost.
Jesus.
And
Okay.
then
Well,
See, spare's quick.
yeah. Well, one of the things I can do is when you move, I can follow you. So I'm going to follow you for 6 of those spaces
go for it.
because I'm not that quick.
Speed and tech is the only thing I have. So one of my quick actions was to boost, and then another of my quick action is to puppet my friend Fathead and move him his move out, sort of thing, to give him an extra move.
That.
Every little helps.
I am so slow.
This is why Ursa dropped the previous mech that he was in.
To be fair, as slow as it is, Crusader has been bloody handy at times with his force field.
I love it.
I'm willing to trade off on that.
I also just want to give you guys an idea of what Burst 5 looks like.
It's big.
Holy shit.
That's Burst 5, so.
Don't outrun your force field.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Well, then, let's see here. Okay. That was Chuckles' turn. Who else wants to go? Padre, Ursa, Reaper, Fathead.
I can set some stuff up here if we need to. Because now that I'm actually forward.
Okay.
Oleg is going to do a couple things here. First thing he's going to do, he's going to activate a quick action, and he is going to, I believe it's a quick action. He is going to flash print a PCP, which is a perimeter command plate. It is a 2x2 space. So basically, we're going to pick these 4 squares right in front of Fathead here. This is where we're going to print it. Any ally who moves onto that space can move up to 3, can fly up to 3 squares in any direction of their choice for free.
You made a jump pad.
Yeah.
Boing.
Except for we're in space, so it's more like a magnet. It basically uses, I guess, magnets to repel the mech.
It's like the speed pads in Mario Kart.
I was gonna say speed pads and like Captain Falcon, like those racing games.
Oh, yeah,
Or Star Fox. I never played Star Fox, but I don't remember what Captain Falcon's in. But I know that those racing games.
It's F-Zero.
F-Zero, yeah, it's like those speed pads in F-Zero. Just kind
of. And then Ursa is going to boost himself to here.
I guess I'll draw out that area for you.
Yeah.
This area. Punch. Sorry.
This area.
Has there been an F-Zero game released recently at all? No.
Well, there was F-Zero. There was a F-99. But I
kind of missed that kind of racing game, So
Pushing the definition of new there.
Yeah. That's my point, though. That is the newest one. There hasn't been anything else, and that is just the 99 version.
That's like saying, up until recently, it was like, what's the new, has there been any new Arma games? And it's just like, yeah, Arma 3. That was released 15 years ago.
Just more like F-99 was just the F-Zero for Super Nintendo, but made to be played in multiplayer with up to 100 people.
Okay, so that's your turn or
move, boost, and do that. That's his turn.
Cool.
Try and give our team some more movement.
All right, Red Wing's gonna go. 2. Okay. Padre reproof Fathead.
Well, it'd be rude not to.
Yeah. All right, Fathead.
Yeah, I'm going to move my 1 for my regular move to go boing. I assume it's the moment I step onto it, moving just 1, given my shape.
To activate it, you need to be on it, so therefore moving 1 gets you on it. You'll move 3 free, and then you can use the rest of your normal movement, and you can boost after that with an action. So, unless it's got to be activated, which didn't sound like that was the thing. Okay, so now you got 3 movements somewhere.
Systems. I'm going to move my 3 there, boing. Move my rest of my 2 to there. Then I'm going to take a quick action and boost.
Okay.
To there. That's my... Wow. Whole 6 having to use a boost as well. Jesus.
Hey, you made it to the same speed as the rest of the team. You kept it up. That'll be the one turn you were able to, and then it'll be it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can keep pushing.
There's actually no limit to how many of these plates I can print. It's not a limited. I can just do it every turn and just move. It just moves wherever I put the new one.
Can you read that one more time? Is it only allies?
No. If a friendly hits it, they get to move in 3 in each square. If an enemy hits it, they have to make a save, or they move 3 squares in my choice of directions.
Also, it's a bumper as well.
Yeah, it's also a bumper.
Like a human pinball.
I have you in my sight. What the hell?
Boom.
Yeah, definitely makes that noise. Okay.
I'm also very glad this is 2D and 3D in space, because otherwise chaos ensues.
I wasn't going to do that to you. We already can barely function when it's a 2D plane that we're fighting over. If we were doing this and it's a 3D plane, I think we'd die. Or somebody had an aneurysm somewhere at some point. Just go.
Alright, it's time to wake up Mrs. Doubtfire. So I'm gonna wake up the Noah class and use my Diluvian Arc.
Diluvian Arc.
I've posted it into the chat in the game.
Let me check what this is.
Ooh.
All
Thanks
right.
for standing next to me.
So, for the purposes of the podcast, I utilised the little Sonic Speed jump pad to get myself up to Spanner, so now they are adjacent to me. Diluvian Arc is the ability of the Noah class NHP that has, it gives my mech slowed, and then the best bits. Each time you or an allied adjacent character are targeted by a range attack, you may take 1 heat as a reaction. Roll 1d6 before the attacker rolls. On a 4+, you take an additional 1 heat, and the attack automatically misses you and any allies adjacent to you. This effect does not stack with Invisible. And then second part of this, each time a range attack fails to hit you or an adjacent allied character, that's whether using the ability or not, any failure counts for this. The attacker takes 4 kinetic damage.
I'm not leaving your side.
Lady, I won't leave you.
Just in
Everyone,
your
collapse
ear.
on Fathead now.
Yeah, just in your ear, like red or on like one of your screens, you just see like a kindly old lady hologram. Like, come on, just going like, "We'll keep you safe, dear." It's just
That actually wasn't
That wasn't bad.
Okay, all
Robin
right.
Williams is turning over in his grave right now, but that wasn't bad.
Oh, you'd be. I mean, come on. No, Robin Williams would be like super like okay with people. Like
Yeah, Robin Williams would.
he was a
would-
treasure. He was a treasure of a person. So apparently there are like multiple cuts of like Mrs. Doubtfire that exist in some warehouse when they were cutting it together. There's the one we got, which I think is PG. There's a PG-13, and there's an R-rated version of.
I have no doubt. It's
Yeah,
like when he
'cause he
did Good
makes up
Morning
his own
Vietnam, he literally like just went off on a spiel for like 20 minutes and they just cut it together.
Yeah. Apparently there was like, I don't even remember, but I was reading somewhere it was like 9 hours worth of like usable like footage that they could have used, and it was like trying to pare it down. It's ridiculous. It was also the first time I think it was him and his wife. They were the producers of it, or somebody like it was like he was primary in the process of making it. It was not a studio film originally. It was something they kind of like pushed for because they liked the book. Okay, which makes it all the better that it is a great film. Thumper. Okay. All right. Padre Reaper.
Do you want to go or shall I? I'm just moving, so.
I mean, I'll be just moving as well, so.
Okay, I'll go ahead. So I'm gonna move 1. Oh, hello. 1.
You gotta use the jump pad too.
3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1. That's my movement. A quick action to boost. Do I still have a quick action?
Yeah, you still have a quick action. Yeah, you get 2 quick actions.
Okay, cool.
Just can't be the same action you previously done.
Can I see this?
Can you see what?
Am I in LOS of this here?
No. Because you have your
Yeah, it cuts through.
we're
the one in
using
front. Okay.
yeah. This is already abstracted. This is already like pretty abstracted. So we're just gonna if it lights up the tab that they're or in the hex that occupies that's in line of sight.
Then I
less
am
real,
going
less rules
to.
area for this mission, for this operation, so we don't have to deal with it again. Like we did last time.
I am going to probably stop there then, I think.
Okay.
Because nothing else is in range.
All right. Racetrack's gonna go. All right, Reaper, you're the last one.
Okay. So I am now invisible. Sorry, I'm now hidden.
I don't think you hit the right.
There it is.
Button.
Also, for some reason, I can't get rid of those two fire things that are on my thing. I'm not overheating or anything like that.
Okay.
I just saw the hidden thing just appeared on my screen, and it doesn't tell me. It tells me that I don't have any problems with my mech. But here we go.
Yeah, I don't know either.
How am I hidden in space? Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
You're not giving out heat.
Yeah, don't mind that. Cool. So I'm going to move. Just want to see how far. Oops, sorry, I don't want to go too far away from anyone else, so I'm going to move and boost, which gives me 9 movement. Sorry, it gives me 12 movement. I have 6 speed. So I'm going to. I can't get to there and then boost. No, so I'm just going to move. I'm going to move and boost to there.
Do these not count as asteroids? These white hex things. These white blobs. I'm assuming these are asteroids, right?
Yeah.
We can pass through them.
No, I just counted. Mikey was just doing a straight measurement. That was still 9 hexes.
Oh, okay. I was really confused there. It's like, oh, wait.
Sorry, it's 9 no matter which way I go at it. It's just that I drew it as a straight line just because that's easier.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
I believe that's all I can do.
Cool. All right, showboat. Okay, that's it for all their activations, and all your activations are done. I need 2 volunteers from the audience. And by audience, I mean those in the voice call right now.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Okay. Well, perfect, because on my screen, one of you is the left, one of you is the right. So, Rival, I need you to roll a d20. Utari, I need you to roll a d20.
Off screen with a dice?
Doesn't matter, you just have to tell me. I need to know.
3.
Cool.
How do I roll again? It's been a long time.
The
Oh, yeah.
slash
That module got
R
taken out.
and then 1d20.
Yeah.
So
The module we had for the rolling dice with the little buttons and everything did not get updated.
Womp womp womp.
So we still are waiting for that. Thank you, Foundry. And your ever progress, and your ever march forward through progress and iteration. It's either /R or r/. From what I remember, one of them is okay.
It's
so
/R.
/R. Yeah. You might need to space.
Slash
It's
R.
/space, yeah.
/R space, then the 1d20.
Yeah.
You forgot the two.
Wow.
For a second, I was gonna say maybe Foundry isn't as well coded as I thought. That can make a roll. Die, no. But
Well, we got there eventually.
well, shit. This is becoming a preordained action that's gonna happen in this combat. You don't know what's happening right now.
Oh no.
I'm doing it right. It's cool.
Yeah, no, you were doing it right. No, the one still counted. It's still.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't rolling a 1 20 times.
No, there would be 21s in the time. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm nervous now. Going, I also rolled low.
Yeah, no, don't worry about
it. No, I'm definitely gonna worry about it.
Yeah, now we're in trouble.
We're in danger.
I'm in danger.
I don't see your roll, sorry.
I rolled.
Rolled a dice.
I rolled off camera. I rolled actually.
Oh, okay.
Rolled an actual die with their hands in real life. Barbarian.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with me.
The absolute barbarian. And not the fun one who's a horse lord. Okay. So that is round 1 of combat. Round 2 of combat. We start with one of the players. Whoever wants to go first.
I don't want to go first. I want someone to come into my range, and they're not yet.
Cool.
That's the plan. Bait them towards me.
Okay. So it seems like everybody's like, "Yep, I got nothing to do." So I'll volunteer to go first. Why not? I think Ursa, because I can move it to range 5. What Ursa's gonna do is Ursa's gonna move like to here, moving 2 squares or 2 hexes. He's gonna put the PCP. Nope. Measure. We're gonna put the PCP. We're gonna move it to. We're gonna move it to these 4 squares right here. Reprinting it, and then we're gonna move back into cover with the rest of our movement. And then from there, Padre, where would you like to move?
Where would I like to move? Somewhere into the orbit of Mr. Protector Man.
Okay, cool. Then, as Ursa moves back to here, he is going to use another one of his abilities because he hasn't used a second quick action yet. And he's going to use a Ferris Slash, which allows him to move a target within 8 hexes, 5 spaces in any direction as a pull. He's going to pull Padre to here.
Okay.
Which,
yeah, boy, I'm in range again.
Can you point out where you put that panel, by the way?
Yes. Let's see here. I moved to here, and then it was, I do believe that was correct. It was these 4 right here.
Cool.
All right, cool. And then Ursa moved back. And then the other one has now disappeared because he's made a new one. That is within, Padre, I would have put you here then, because that's actually within, that's right next to Fathead. Because he has to be right next to Fathead. He's moving him to the safe spot, the safe spot. All right.
It's okay.
That is Ursa's turn.
Still in range.
That's Ursa's turn.
Although if I end up in danger zone, Fathead is now in my back blast.
I took my lack of mobility and our team's lack of mobility personally.
Not again, motherfuckers.
This
Okay.
one's got freaking jetpacks now.
Okay, so that was Ursa's turn.
Find it hilarious now. I've got 2 teammates that are doing the equivalent of getting out and pushing.
Push.
That's Red Wing.
Can I go?
Do you want to go?
If no one else is jumping in, hell yeah. Because I have one action, and it is simple. I'm gonna fire my super heavy cannon at
Boom,
racetrack.
Oh yeah.
Range 20. 2d6 energy.
At
plus-
racetrack?
Yeah. How old is it,
Okay.
racetrack? From me?
Well, racetrack's up here,
Oh,
so I was just
sorry.
double checking because Red Wing moved.
Sorry. Yeah, it is Red Wing. I'm going for.
Okay.
Or do I go for wherever this
Cover
is?
Thumper?
Thumper. Does that? Am I in range of Thumper?
I don't know. What's your
20. My range is
what's
20.
your range? Yeah, you can hit Thumper.
Guys, who do you hate
Red
more?
Wing just moved.
Red Wing or Thumper? Action economy dictates Thumper because he hasn't moved yet. Okay. I'm gonna fire
Okay,
at
Thumper then. All right, target.
I am on it, Chief. Okay. So this is the Tachyon Lance Super Heavy Cannon. This is obviously a full action to use because it is a super heavy cannon. And let's go.
Is that a hit?
That is a 19, so I believe that hits.
Hold.
It was almost a crit.
Because of this, you hit with an attack. Thumper is going to use their reaction to do barrel roll.
Oh
Aileron
my
roll.
God, they all got this.
Aileron
Oh,
roll.
yeah.
They most
Not
assuredly
barrel
do.
roll.
It's called barrel roll. I'm using barrel roll. Stop.
Aileron roll.
Though I clicked the wrong one up, so I'm just gonna make sure. That's the correct one. Has used theirs. But Thumper is going to use barrel roll, which immediately allows them to fly 6 spaces in any direction, and you miss.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I think we're gonna have to like double shoot the enemy.
Well, that's me done for 2 turns, guys.
Oh no.
Man, just the epitome of just like fuck it, all in, and just look at
I
mean,
plays a MOBA by going straight up the center.
I can
and just-
technically move, so I'm going to
Full
move
send.
3.
I'll protect you.
I'm going to move 3. 1, 2.
Midgeman literally went all in, needing one more card for a Royal Flush and like break the 2. Just shit.
Hey, here's the thing though. As you can see there, that ability only recharges on a 5-up reroll, which they only do whenever they.
Yeah, but I have to
first activate their
stabilize
turn.
to reload that weapon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
The
you can
weapon's not
stabilize
loading.
whatever. Huh?
That weapon's not loading. You can fire that every single turn, Mitch. It just generates 4 heat.
Huh?
It just has to be the first thing you fire on your turn. It doesn't have the loading property, so you don't have to reload it.
Yeah, it's ordnance.
Okay.
That's it.
Well,
So you just
I
shoot
got,
it whenever
I got
you
my
want
mods
to.
confused.
Oh yeah.
That's better then.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'm going to
So you
change where I
just-
move to.
you just boil
to...
yourself.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, you just generate heat, which we know you love doing.
Yeah, I do more
Yeah.
damage.
More.
Yeah. I need to come up with a weapon that does more to someone, the hotter they are, or something. I need to do something.
And that's all my effects.
But
Or
this
you,
last is so hot,
counters.
Roach.
Or you create a what's that gun from Fallout 4? The cryo gun, where like you shoot somebody with a cryo weapon and
Yeah,
it
it makes
cools
it
them
colder.
down. Yeah.
Makes it colder. The ultimate fuck
just
you
shoot
to
me
the
with
atomic
coolant.
cavalier.
Mobile fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Okay, so
Must
that's
be
it for Padre. Cool. Awesome.
Damn, I missed Team America style.
Actually, hold on 1 second. I do need to check something. So you were standing right.
To attack it.
One.
Can I to remind you of what that weapon is that I just fired at them? It is the Tachyon Lance is a failed hyperdrive experiment that they turned into a weapon because of its output properties.
You fired the prototype Death Star beam that they used in the second sequel trilogy of Star Wars. Is what you just fired at this person.
Yeah.
And they just barrel rolled out of the way.
And it keeps going. The laser just keeps going because it's.
Yeah, no, I was going to
space.
check if it intersected with anything.
gonna hit a ship.
Because that
Or the
matters.
planet behind
It
that
intersects
ship.
with things.
I was
Oh man.
Gonna go keep going to deep space and hit someone in the head. 10,000 years.
There's an asteroid like 2 miles away that just explodes.
Well, no,
Some
because it's
random speed on
hyperspace.
some random
It's
stuff.
hyperspace. So in my, because it's an FTL drive that's hitting something at FTL speeds. So I think for like it would have this thing where there's a split second of just like reality, like ceasing to function, like mathematically within the center of this thing. You just hear like a like you, like a
small
fucking
hole appears, just
like a fucking water balloon getting hit by something. It goes, and then you see the explosion goes. It liquefies, like you liquefy the rock, but it doesn't change into a liquid. It just physics stop functioning for a minute. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna say Thumper's turn. Probably, I'm gonna say that's probably a good activation phrase for him. So what? Just fucking shot at me. What did I roll? Oh, cool. I don't know if you can see these rolls. Oh, cool. Yeah, that recharged. So Thumper is going to do a. Ooh, I actually have to do this. So that'd be back there.
Yeah, what I've just fired is tachyon particles being projected at essentially subatomic localized objects faster than light towards their target. These particles are impossible to perceive optically, and because they travel faster than light, they can't be seen or evaded. In the description, apparently. That's interesting.
But somehow a barrel roll can make them nice.
I don't know, because it's not like an equipment tag, but that's in the compendium entry. So they probably changed that for balance.
Yeah. It's like Space Marines having like uber massive skills, but on the tabletop they can be relatively easily killed by human grunts.
Yeah. Although
What do you
particles are
mean,
tiny,
like-
they travel with colossal speed and energy. The damage tachyon last is to target should hit.
What do you mean,
It does say shoot
Gilliman
it.
just died to a random guardsman?
I don't know how this is fractional.
I also don't know how I'm like 0.1 off of the square.
No, you're not, because it's Thumper, because they just moved into a square and I just measured this like raw and it was even 10. I don't know how that becomes fractional. That's weird. Cool.
It's the tachyon lance. It shrink the map.
Fate isn't functioning right for a couple of seconds after that. There's a weird warping going on. But hey, even with that flavor text, even if I was like masochistic enough to make that a mechanical thing that I'd have to deal with, it wouldn't matter because their primary weapon is seeking. So The Thumper is going to shoot for Ursa, and fire said weapon. We're gonna see if this hits. Seeking. I don't think there's any other mitigating factors here. And damn. No matter how good my positioning or your rolls are bad, my rolls are shit. Always. Cool.
Shame.
Shame. All right, so that was a 4 I rolled.
Shame.
Yeah, that was a 4 I rolled on Ursa, and to hit Ursa, I needed to roll minimum of, what is that? I needed to roll 11, so. Gone are the days where it was a really easy shot on Ursa.
My evasion is no longer 4. To be fair, that would target E defense because it's smart. So it was 10, but still, a 3 doesn't do it on the die.
Yeah, you're right. Cool. Cool, my players. Okay.
May I go next, please?
Yes, you may.
Sweet.
So what are you hacking them with?
Just hacking them.
Well,
hacking them.
Don't think I will yet. So,
Gasp.
Who are you, and what did you do with what did you do with Red?
who are you? And what did you do with Red? Okay. I would like to move there. Go, hi guys. And I would like to scan and then lock on Thumper.
Did we just lose Roach again?
She's back.
I swear to God that nothing happened with my computer. Just Discord ceased to function.
Oh.
I swear to God.
I am in control now.
Fucking game. Like, God hates mecha.
If we had God and anime, it'd be too powerful.
God damn. So what were you gonna do? I didn't catch it.
I would like to scan and then lock on to Thumper. Neither of those are an attack.
Right.
So with scan, we get to find out some fun stuff.
Cool.
So, for one of the following pieces of information. So, team, what do we want to know? Do we want to know the target's weapon systems and full statistics? One piece of hidden information on the target? Or generic or public information about the target that can be pulled from an info bank or record, such as a model number of the mech? I'm saying number 1.
My vote would also be number 1 because I would love to know these things, both hit points and their agility saves.
Yep.
Is specifically what I would love to know about them.
I want to know if every one of these have this freaking barrel roll.
Oh, they do.
Aileron
That's
roll.
going to be an absolute nightmare.
I think they do. Okay, so Roach, can we please know the target's weapons, systems, and full statistics?
Okay. Weapon systems. Let me just. I think I can just drop it in here. That just dropped in something. We're gonna see if this actually functions.
Don't have permission to view the sheet for this item.
Yeah, it's cool.
It might be easier to just screenshot its stat block and just post it.
Yeah, but the problem is that but you only get the weapon systems. That's gonna have to because of the way
Weapons,
that this
systems, and full stat block.
Yeah,
no,
you get
I
the
mean
weapons, the systems, and the stat block.
The systems as well as stat
Yeah,
block?
weapon system and stat block. Which is like you may as well just post the character sheet at that point.
I'm just gonna double check here because I'm having trouble with the English. I need to know where the comma is in this. Weapons, comma, systems, comma, stat blocks, or weapon systems, comma, stat blocks, because that's different.
Weapons, comma, systems, comma,
Got it.
and full
Cool.
statistics.
Cool,
Full
cool,
stop.
cool. I just needed to know that because this is somewhat used interchangeably. Cool.
Actually, no, I'm
so-
curious. Hold on. Sorry, no, actually, hold on. Go on. I was like, does that mean you choose one between weapons, comma, systems, comma, or
No,
stat block?
No,
Yes,
there were
yes,
3 blocks
check
of
that.
text.
Check that.
No, because it says choose one of the following pieces, and all of
I'm
those are
gonna
listed
cut
under 4.1. No, Moogle's right.
Okay. Yeah, no, I assumed it was. I just like you were asking for homework essentially. Just the equivalent. All right, I'm getting the screenshots together.
Thanks. And then I'm going to use my rest of my movement to go back to where I was next to my lovely big brother.
That's not the right. There we go. That's the right one. Normally you wouldn't know what its current HP and stuff is and everything, but you haven't hit any of these and they all share. And it's a...
That's why I figured if I know one, I know them all.
Yeah. Just let me find where I saved these two. There you go. Drop those into general.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And Thumpant also has lock-on on.
Okay, I'll put that in there. Would you like to share what you've learned with both your team members and the podcast?
Yes, I would. Okay, so they have a -2 to hold, which is very interesting. 3 agility, so they are nimble, but if you hit them, they are hurt. 1 system and 0 engineering. 10 hit points, a heat capacity of 8, no armor. Speed is 5, evasion is 12, E-defense is 8, senses is 10, save is 10, size 1. And then the whip features got limited handling, must always move in a straight line. Crew. Oh, that's just if it has how many people it's got on board. And they've got the barrel roll reaction, which is annoying. So it's any melee or ranged attack hits the ace. Now I think because it says attack, I assume that also means tech attack.
No, tech attack is its own thing.
No, because that's a special thing that they have to take. They can take a bonus thing because you encountered an ace flyer before, and they had barrel roll, but they had a special modifier to their barrel roll that they took as an extra thing they could take that made it so that any attack actions they could also use the barrel roll on. So this one does not affect attack.
I've got a missile launcher, and they've also got the missile swarm, which is the weird thing that we didn't think had a range to it, but it does have a AoE.
Yep. And the missile launcher is range 10. Last one. Does 4 explosive damage. +1 to the attack. Missile swarm is +1 to the attack. Burst 5. 3 explosive, and it does double damage to characters with lock-on, and doesn't affect allied characters. So there you go.
And I'm hiding again.
And you're hiding again. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got that. I got that one.
I hate it. I hate Ori.
Everyone just hit it with tech attacks.
Barrel roll bullshit.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
It's fine.
What might be a plan is those with sort of smaller damage weapons. Roach, stop listening. Those with smaller damage weapons.
Take your headphones off. Take your headphones off. Strip them off. Keep going.
Fire first. Hopefully that triggers the barrel roll, and if they don't recharge it, those with the chunky weapons can then fire that same target and not get that barrel roll.
They can just choose not to use the barrel roll.
Yes.
I know, that's why I told Roach not to take her headphones off.
But there is also the fact that it's probably better to shoot at them, shoot the ones that have already activated, because once they activate, due to their sheet, we only have one activation turn.
What am I doing? I
That
can just
means
turn
that-
on the stream.
It means that once they've activated it, they can't they can't immediately activate again and then charge their barrel roll.
It's a reaction. They can use at any time.
Yes, but then it means that if they do use it, they don't immediately get to go and then recharge it. Or at least attempt to recharge it, obviously. It's a
I see
5-up
what you
roll,
mean.
but still.
Yeah, just focus fire. Just focus fire, guys. Yeah.
You can put your headphones back on now. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, you made the entire stream see my headphone hair. Thank you. You got better hair than I do for that. You don't have any that we can see. It's all hidden.
The
All right,
convenience
so-
of having it all tied up behind me.
All right, so from what I could kind of get from the vibes of the cameras and from kind of just like lip reading there, I'm assuming you're going to be shooting a whole bunch of the lower tier non-damaging weapons at them to trigger barrel rolls, and then you're going to then you're going to follow up with hitting them with actual high damage stuff and go for that.
No, that
cool.
sounds stupid.
I have a
I
question.
just said focus fire, like.
Yeah, I actually do have a question though, right? Reliable weapons. If you barrel roll them, do they still take the reliable damage?
They
Yeah,
should
'cause
still
it
do
says-
damage on a miss.
Yeah, because
Okay,
miss,
cool.
because it
Yeah.
specifically calls out that if you miss with a reliable weapon, you still take the damage, and this just applies and the barrel roll just makes it so that the attack, no matter what, missed
Okay,
after
cool.
they've been hit.
good to
So reliable still works. It's not impossible to damage them with it.
Ironically, that means that Utari's assault rifle is really good because it's reliable too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but there is
It's really
6
good
of
quality.
them. There are 6 of them, so
And these guys don't have armor. We don't need to worry about bloody AP.
Who's going next then?
It's one of them.
Roach.
yeah, no. I was double checking a couple of things for something you don't need to worry about.
I'm not.
Not worried at
yeah.
all. Don't worry about it.
Why would you be? It'd
Nothing
be
to worry
crazy
about.
to worry.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it.
Do racetrack. Alright. And it's racetrack's turn, because I'm pretty sure none of you are within range. Close though, but yeah, no. Alright. Reaper Fathead Demon.
Also, it'd be better because of my effect if I probably go last. Since it's until the end of my next turn, and I don't really want to be in a position. Since Padre and Smen have already gone, I'm kind of wanting to just sit here for the minute.
I'm out of position at the moment.
Yeah, so it's probably better for you to move then, because like I need to be adjacent to them to protect them until the end of my turn. So it's probably better for me if I go last.
Reaper, what are you doing?
Fucking around and finding out. I don't have a plan right now. I'm not close
Okay,
enough
well.
to hit any of them.
No.
I don't have any particular abilities that let me reach out and touch them, and I'm not going to use my core ability right now. It's too early in the mission for that.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm hidden, I'll probably end up doing something that is relatively annoying to them, maybe to Roach, but yeah. I'm just going to see what I can do when they eventually get close enough that I can hit them. Oh. I tell a bald-faced lie. Who's this one?
Racetrack?
Sorry. Racetrack is within range of me.
Do you have LOS?
I do. I believe.
You gotta
No.
poke out one.
Ah, damn. Well, no, in that case, I don't have range then.
What about the one south?
Roach, I've moved.
Yes,
Oh, you
because
moved.
I believe
Oh, okay,
Ursa
you
doesn't
finished it.
count.
I
as a
boosted.
LOS.
You
thing.
boosted and moved. Okay, so it was demon, took the turn, finished. Cool. Okay. Let's do Showboat. That's it for Showboat's turn.
It all started with Showboat.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? If I shoot at Thumper, because Thumper has their
They don't have a barrel roll.
Alarion / barrel roll thing.
Do they? Did they get it back after I shot at them?
They all have it right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, they got it back. They rolled a 5 on the dice.
Yep. And since they took their turn, and since their turn came up, they got their reaction back.
Yep.
Yes.
The only one who can't do a barrel roll at this point. No, actually, no, they can all do the barrel.
All of them have barrel roll active. So here's the problem. I only have one weapon that can hit him right now. Now, it's not a loading weapon anymore, so that's good. However, I don't want to waste my big weapon on him, because Roach will just be like, no, you don't hit, basically. Even if I do hit. So, what I'm going to do instead is...
You had a lot of really high damage, like low DPS but high single damage hit weapons, and I have adapted a strategy.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is move forward 1. I am then going to shoot at it.
Shoot a Thumper?
Yes.
Cool. He has lock on him.
Yes, but I get to reroll my first range attack anyway because I'm a death head. So,
cool.
I'm going to shoot at them with my Vulture, my DMR. I'm not going to consume the lock-on. I'm going to leave that for somebody else in case it's needed. Yeah. Q. It hits.
Okay. Thumper uses a reaction for barrel roll.
Oh, wait, hang on. You need to make a bunch of saves now.
Well, it's missed now.
Oh, yeah.
With barrel roll. So that's the thing. It's a reaction, so it interrupts and Now you've missed. 6, 6, 6.
Man, I don't know why I have the second tier of Infiltrator when I can't make you not take reactions when I hit you from hidden. Because you can reaction your way out of me, making you not able to take reactions. Oh well. I'm going to. I still have 5 movement.
Wait, you have a thing? Wait, hold on. Before we even get into
this was
that,
the thing that we got into a big debate about when we shot at the Corvette, because when I hit something when I'm hidden, it needs to make a hull save, or it can't do. It has to be slowed, impaired, and unable to take reactions. And then you were like, well, you would have to know somehow with targeting, and we just sort of went with that. You get to go first, basically.
The order of operations is because you can deny that the hit ever happened, the hit never actually happens to force the whole save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this particular ability just circumvents that.
Yeah, reaction is the one thing that can circumvent doing that. But there are plenty of reactions that occur where it's like, you've been hit, move, but you still take the damage, or you've been hit, you get to do something else, but you'd get to stop that. Or there's a big one where it's like, you've been hit, counter, like you get to dash and attack. There's one that players get where it's like,
I've seen that one. Yeah,
it's a knife-based one. It's fucking
it's the one
ridiculous.
We got stabbed with in one of the first combats.
Blackjack, Blackjack.
Yeah, which you'd be able to do that. You'd be able to stop Blackjack. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I moved back there, and that's the end of my turn.
You just encountered a lot of reactions because you have a lot of flyers and stuff you've been dealing around with. And they get reaction as kind of like one of the things one of their limited little box of toys they get, because they don't get a lot of HP. But okay, so Thumper's out of that. You've moved. You've done that.
Well, one thing that I am looking at these stat blocks, they do have the restriction. They have to fly in a straight line. Can they bank around these asteroids?
They have 5 movement, so every time they've been banking around the asteroid, they've been doing their 5 and then doing a turn, because they can do a turn. A movement is because their boost is a different movement action, and they can fly straight when they do that.
That's what I was saying. Because if that was what was that to here? Okay, then they just okay, all right. Yeah, I was losing track of where it was. Sure.
Yeah, I keep track of it because I've been using a lot of vehicles in this campaign. It's kind of a default I've been using. So if you see me mess it up, keep me honest on it. Fussy. Too fussy.
The other question is, do they have to fly 6? Because it doesn't say up to 6.
It says move. Hold on. Let me think of that again. Okay. Well, if it was, I used that. Yeah, it was there. Then if it's 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. Go there.
My question is, does it allow to move a shorter space? That was merely my question there.
I've always read it as such, but I'm not sure now that you bring it up.
I mean, if you want to rule it that way, I'm not going to fight you on it.
Well, I don't know if you have any
good
abilities.
to establish.
I don't want to hamstring you if that is. So, I mean, if you get an ability that is like this, because I played in a Lancer campaign and I had a react to move action, and we just rolled it as like you could just make them. It was like a movement that you got up to blank, like you moved 6 anything. But
I just want to. I'm curious to establish the rule because it's useful to know.
I'm established you can move up to.
Okay.
Well, it's default to that, and that goes for any of like yours that might be worded weirdly like that as well.
Sure.
So we keep the uniform on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Keep it kosher. That's Fuzzy. It's Fathead's turn.
last one, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Just to check, I'm going to just check that no one shot at anyone that was in range of me, right? Because
He only shot at me.
At you. Right, okay, that's fine.
Does it? Yeah, no, never mind. I was gonna say because
Yeah,
it
it was-
intersects with your bubble, but it doesn't go. It wasn't in anybody inside the
No,
bubble.
that's fine.
so-
That's fine. I just needed to check that neither I or Padre and Svena why I
Yeah,
had to deal with Charlie stuff.
Yeah,
Right, I'm
then we
slow.
wouldn't have
That
gone forward.
effect
We would have waited.
Gives me movement speed 1, isn't it? Slowed.
Slowed just means you can't boost.
Oh, just can't boost. All right, I thought of that one wrong then.
If I'm recall correctly. I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So
Chat, it's been a while since we were in a combat, so it's been a bit.
I can move down. I can move down to there and still have Spanner in my bubble, and then I can close range hit Thumper with something. With my assault rifle, I can do some DPS at the least. I'm not really a DPS guy, but Thumpers use they react, so I can at least do something.
Yeah. Thumper would be unable to barrel roll.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm in melee range. Do I have any melee capability? No, I don't think I do, actually, sadly.
Do a shark kick
The
into the
basic-
cockpit of this thing.
Just punch it in the face.
Just a
You
high
can
kick
always
down.
improvise an attack.
Yeah.
I can
High kick
improvise
down
an
right
attack,
into the
yeah.
cockpit.
Yeah, but that's a full action, not a quick action.
Yeah, that's.
Him just saying, "I wish I could barrel roll right now." It comes down. For some reason, I can't.
As a giant,
that's
like,
okay.
metallic
That's
foot
okay.
comes down.
Using my assault rifle would still be a full action as well, wouldn't it?
No, it's quick action.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Quick
that's
action.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close range.
Because remember, the full action attack is to fire everything on a mount, or to fire everything.
Two
or
mounts.
an
Fire
attack-
2 mounts.
Two mounts. The quick action is fires everything on a mount. Yeah, there you go.
My gun's different because it's braced by 2 mounts, so it counts as a full.
Yeah. Theoretically, these guys could fire both of their guns because it's the main launcher
yeah.
round.
Yeah. Then all right, we'll go for it.
Go for it. Let's do it.
Did anyone apply anything like?
It has a lock on.
It does have a lock
It's
on.
got lock on.
Yeah.
Should be able to use it if you want.
I get a consumer lock on.
If you'd like.
Oh yeah, baby.
You crit.
Nice
I do like-
creative, Harry.
I guess they added now that you see the entire formula of how the attack goes through, which
Yeah.
I do
They
like.
also added in
That's
the roll
nice.
damage button, which I
I
really
got
like.
my spotter effect
Nice.
seems to have triggered, or someone's spotter effect triggered.
I think both of you
Yeah.
have spotter, right? I think both Spanner and Crusader have spotter.
It's nice that that's a thing. Go ahead and roll damage. You can't do anything to stop you.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 4 total. Am I reading that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
okay.
reliable 2. I get the reliable 2 because it's just, assault rifle. has
And then you rolled
reliable,
2d6,
and then 2d6
and then
for the critical. Yeah.
yeah, 2d6, and then the highest one. Oh god, that is a really shitty damage roll then, because you rolled a 1 and a 2. You got the 2.
Yeah, is a thing.
Uh,
you know, it's reliable damage. End of the day, it's
It's reliable damage. You took it took 4 damage. And you know how much HP these guys got, and armor.
And then my other action is just re-upping the arc,
Cool.
and that's my turn.
That's your turn. Awesome. All right, Chuckles is the last one. So Chuckles.
I can't unthink of Chuckles from Legends of Avantris. Whenever I hear
Yeah,
Chuckles is the problem, so my brain is just going, and Chuckles
Oh.
is...
there was a small.
I hate to say it. I think that was just 2 damage. That wasn't 4 damage.
Well, no, it's reliable.
Yeah,
Because
reliable gives you 2. and
because
then
crit
critical-
doesn't add the damage. Crit is roll twice and take the higher damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
And
but I
reliable
also
gives
have
you
reliable
damage if
2,
you-
which gives you flat damage.
Reliable 2 is if you miss. You did miss, you hit.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So
No,
you
reliable
get-
reliable
miss,
guarantees
you
that the
roll-
lowest damage you can get is 2, period. Miss, hit, or otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you had rolled 2 ones on
Right.
your crit, you would have got
Still
2
dealt
damage.
2
instead of
damage, yeah.
1. Yeah.
2 damage. Okay, I readjusted it. Yeah, no, Midge, I did think the same thing. And when I saw the call sign Chuckles, there was a small part of me just thinking like I could just make this a Legends of Evandris, like ref, and just have Chuckles, have Klutzy in there, pull some of those. But no, it's that was too much of a pull. That was too much. Maybe next time. Okay, so that's Chuckles' turn, and that's the end of the round. Once again, Rival, roll a die. Utari, roll a die. D20s, please. And I have to update this
6.
6.
Got the iron that slashed the wrong way round. 1 second.
You gotta be
What?
kidding me.
Again.
You gotta be fucking kidding
Shout
me.
out to the r/1d20 subreddit. We keep promoting them today, and it's resulting in crit fails.
Yeah. Okay, that's
You know what? I choose to
updated.
believe this is positive.
Yeah. You may guess what's going on if you look at the bottom of the map and see the tracker I'm using to keep track, and you may be able to suss out what this is for, but given what just happened on this round.
Bad stuff.
Okay, it's what the left, center, and right are dealing with.
Well, I mean, you have a 2, and what value 2 does that have in this one round of combat? That happened here, right now. That Utari just did. Against Thumper. I'm gonna keep trying.
No, I caught on to it.
Yeah, no. I
We are not the
waiting
only
to see-
battlefield guys, remember.
was waiting to see the realization kind of go around everybody. But yeah. It's the
There's a reason
HP.
where I'm like, you know what? Rolling low might not be a bad thing, guys.
It's the amount of damage that's being dealt in the battlefields. And who knows? Maybe some reinforcements. start
Unless we're rolling to
coming
see
in.
the damage we've been doing, in which case, guys, these are rookie numbers. We got to get these numbers up there.
I mean, you've only done 2 damage. Nobody else has done any damage. So that's the thing. Cool.
Do we want to start the next round?
Yeah, we've only got 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left. Yeah, let's pause it because we're right at a good part where we right at the top of the round. Nobody's done anything. We don't have to keep track of anything. Are we doing a game next week? Or next week's good still? Next week's good still. Okay, cool.
Next week's good. Week after, dicey for me.
Cool. Should be able to get through this with just a full session of combat, probably. Depending on how much damage you all do within a certain time frame. There's a lot of incentives going in 2 different directions here, and that's I want to tell you why, because I want to see you try and figure out what the best option is. I'm gonna do it. That's
The
how
best
much
option is just
HP's
win the fight.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The bottom tracker is how much HP is being done. Is how much HP damage is being dealt to the enemy in each of the fronts of the field, and there's an incentive for the enemy to reinforce the one that has had the most damage dealt to them after a certain amount of time. So, when that is,
left
though,
is-
is secret.
Left is Phoenix, isn't it? And right is the strike
Squadron.
crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the strike craft. This isn't the damage they're taking. This is the damage they're doing. To whoever's-
Comparatively, the 2 mech groups are really dropping the ball compared to the squadron.
Yeah, but that increases the chances that the reinforcements that
We'll go to the
were
people
said
who
to
are
be-
most agile to get out.
Yeah, so you've got to figure out what you want to do now. Do you want
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to start killing some shit. They need to get closer.
Yeah, and if you start doing that,
Trying to get
that's
closer. I
you got
need them to
60
stop
HP.
dodging.
You got 60 HP on the field right now. If you do all that damage, who knows what's
This
coming?
is literally
by.
Dex
So-
Nerd versus Strength Chad.
So
right
I
now.
have-
Stop moving, Dex Nerd.
So I have a question. If I apply 8 burn damage to them on a hit, does that affect their heat or their HP?
Both.
Both.
So
Because that's how they
okay, so
work.
my gun is an instant kill on them because they have a heat capacity of 8.
Yes, because that's how NPCs in this game work.
Help
yeah,
me
they reach their
hit
heat capacity.
I also have a
gonna
gun
blow
that
up.
can do 10 damage
Yeah.
to HP, so it's one shot, one kill.
Help us
situation
hit
as well.
them. If you want
I've
them
got
It's
a
like
gun that can do
you're gonna
12.
you're gonna do full send next time, and we're gonna get into like X number of rounds in full send. There's only one enemy left, and then goes, well, guys, you did twice as much damage as everybody else, so here's the second wave, and you're
Here's
gonna
an
be mad at
S-class
me.
destroyer.
Yeah, you're gonna be mad at me.
I have a concept. It will be a plan by next Tuesday.
Because I did say that because there is that the objective here is not necessarily to kill everybody. The objective that you are presented with is you are trying they're finding
Trying to draw people in.
yeah, the ships are trying to find where the strongest of them are and where the weakest of their forces is, and they're going to punch through the weakest part, and then you're going to pull out through that line.
It's known
So
as a recon in force.
Yep. So the objective isn't to kill everybody here, but
It's poke the nest and then retreat
Yeah.
to their positions.
yeah.
Either way,
So
thank you everybody.
I added
for
an extra
watching.
element to the combat. I wanted to see how you'd handle it.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Well, thank you everybody for watching yet another episode of Lancer. It's just business. All we've got left to do is to thank those who have been here. Thank you to Roach for returning after a power cut and writing and GMing this campaign. Thank you to SurelyOnlyMikey, to Red and Rival from RivalzoneGaming. Sorry, the dog is currently having a nightmare and barking his little head off. So if that picked up. Thank you to DM Lake, to Utari Onzo. I've been Midgeman. We've been the Tuesday crew, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.